Hi guys, and welcome to another Skyrim preview video. And if you are wondering why I am using the universe's most unlikely archmage to present this video, it is because this video is in fact about spells, specifically spell crafting. Now in part 6 of this series I covered a mod that allowed spell crafting. It was a work in progress and looked pretty interesting. But I have been made aware of a mod that actually already does this, that is on the Nexus, and is in fact called Spellcrafting for Skyrim. Now the main feature of this mod is the Altar of Spells. If I go here and activate, I get this little menu that pops up and asks me to fill in some spell effects. So I can have up to 3, and I don't have that many options at the moment. For example, I can do destruction, elemental damage, fire. I can either do it instantly or over an interval. So I'm going to do over an interval, 5 points, 3 seconds. Single target. And I'm going to accept that as my first effect. You can start over if you want, but I'm going to go straight to my second. Now, I currently don't have any other effects. Well, actually, I think I've got one. I've got restoration, healing. So I'm going to heal 50 points on myself. And no, you know what? I'm going to heal 50 points on a single target. That's right. And no, because I've only got 2 effects. So there you go. Final casting of this is 45. I'm going to accept it. And it then asks me, do I want to name the spell? And this is very cool indeed. I click yes. And I believe he used another mod author's code. I apologize if that's incorrect. But I just wanted to acknowledge there are some other people's input. But he's added the feature where once you hit begin, the console pops up and I can now type in my name, the name for my spell. And it is a spell that hits people with a heal, but gives them fire damage. So, heal with a price. I like that spell. So there you go. I have now got heal with a price. This is a heal spell that will heal people as well as setting them on fire for a little while. But it'll only do 15... No. Was it 15 points of damage? Oh, I can't remember. There you go. So I accepted that spell. And now if I go to my spell book, I have found heal with a price under the destruction. So I'm assuming it uses the first spell effect as its school. And I can actually select it in either hand, but as far as I know, you cannot dual cast it at the moment. And then I can hit my target, healed him, as well as set him on fire. Very cool. Now obviously, you're going to want to do more than set people on fire and heal them, I'm assuming. And for that, what you need are cantrips. Cantrips are little spells that you then combine to make these large spells. And if I go along to this book, let me exit that. Excuse me. If I go to this book called the Spell Crafting Journal, which you'll find on the side here, and I look at it, I can examine my known cantrips, and it will tell me I have got fire damage. Illusion, I've got none, and so on. I can examine my custom spells. There you go, custom spell 1. And it will tell me the full details so I can see and check and decide if I want to keep it. And I can forget spells, so I can remove them from my spellbook, which is obviously very, very useful. And I can take this book with me so I can always examine my spells wherever I am. Now obviously we want to learn new cantrips, new spell effects, and for those you need to get these cantrips, you need to buy them. I've actually found several of the cantrips in the bookshelf. But reading them here does not, or taking them does not actually seem to give you the cantrip. So what you need to do is go to Melrin Abrosius and buy them. So let's see. Fear cantrip. I'll take the fear cantrip. And the paralyze cantrip. So I have now bought those 2 cantrips. I then go to my inventory, read them, and as you can see now, fear cantrip added. And it also tells me all the details in the book itself, which I think is a really nice idea actually. It's amazing. This must have taken quite some time to do. And then, of course, I should learn all my other... Oh, Cure Disease cantrip. That's the one I picked up, but even if I read it now, doesn't give me the spell. I don't get the spell unless I bought it. So there you go. What a Paralyze cantrip. Paralyze cantrip added. And I can then go along to my Altar of Spells and activate it. And let's pick, again, elemental damage fire, but instant. 15 points. Single target. Accept. I'm going to have Fear. Level 25 for 15 seconds. Single target. And I'm going to add Paralyze for 5 seconds on, again, the single target. Accept. Yes. Would I like to name this spell? There you go. My spell, OMG. And again, it's placed it under the Destruction School, so it is using the first spell effect. So remember that, wherever you want it to appear, make sure that's your first spell effect. And apparently cost 0. I don't believe that. Let's see. Yes. Oh yeah, that used all my magicka, but that is a spell that will do damage, freeze people in position, and then when they are unfrozen, they will run away in fear. Actually, that sounds like a really cool spell. And if you're worried about having to buy all of these effects, and there are quite a few of them, you don't actually have to. You can learn the effects as you go along, and you have a small chance of learning each cantrip every time you use a spell that is of that type. So for example, if you use a lightning bolt spell, you have a small chance of learning the shock damage cantrip. So that's another cool addition. So all in all, this actually looks really well done. I'm pretty impressed with how easy it was to use. And there is a mod configuration menu, spellcrafting. And from what I can see, it allows you to change a couple of things like the learning chance, the chance of learning cantrips whilst casting spells. And what seems to be the ability to actually cheat and craft your spells. Now, I am not playing a spellcaster at the moment, so it's probably going to be some time before I really can experiment with this mod and give you a full rundown on how I think it affects the game. But it seems pretty balanced. I mean, as you saw, that spell I just made, which is a pretty powerful spell actually, although it didn't do much damage, paralyzes, you know, fairly intense, and the fear was massive. But it used my entire magicka reserves. But what I've seen so far has impressed me quite a lot. It seems very robust, it seems very, very instinctive, very easy to use, which is always a good thing. The location and the design of the whole altar seems really appropriate. It seems to fit very well actually. To be honest with you, if I'd have installed this mod by accident and come running around the Hall of Attainment, I might not have even noticed I'd added a mod. And lastly, from looking at the Nexus page, the mod author seems very active. He's responding to suggestions, criticisms, or any problems very, very quickly indeed. So I think this is a mod that's just going to improve very, very quickly and become probably one of the essential mods for mages, especially people who've played earlier Elder Scrolls games who really do miss the ability to make those custom spells. Okay guys, well that's it for this video. I hope it was helpful and I hope you enjoy the mod if you try it out. If you do try it out, give me some feedback. Tell me what you think about it actually. I am curious as to what you guys think of this. Is this a good thing, going back to the old Elder Scrolls way? Okay, so comments below and I will see you guys next time. And as always, until then, have fun. Is it wrong that after 10 minutes of playing Steve, I get this incredible, overpowering urge to laugh like a homicidal maniac? Oh dear, it's the face. I need help, don't I?